Feel like I'm going crazy. I feel good for 2 weeks. Then I wake up one morning and I can't get out of bed. I'm just crying and I don't know why I'm crying. I literally just woke up and I'm crying. What is up with that? Do you have those days where you feel like you're kind of going nuts? I did that for a long time. And I want to spend the rest of this video helping us all understand what's going on with us. No matter what stage you are in affair recovery, emotions are tough and they're all over the place. And I want to give you some assurances that you're not crazy. You're just fine. So stay tuned. Yeah, I think that was probably the hardest part for me, was managing how I felt. I felt a bit crazy, so much so that early on, probably within the first 6 to 8 months after I found out about the affair, I went to see my doctor. I thought something was wrong with me. I really thought maybe I had depression. I never had depression before, but it didn't explain, like, I could be euphoric one day, which is weird. Like, why am I on cloud nine? My husband had an affair, but I could just be euphoric one day, and then the next day I can barely get out of bed. And it's everything I can do to put on my clothes and go to work. And I just sit at my desk zoned out for 8 hours and do absolutely nothing. I mean, and then the next day, I could be super angry. And I don't know why. He didn't do anything. Bottom line, we're grieving. And that's what my primary care physician said to me. She said, she listened and she said, look, I can prescribe something for you, because I was feeling super anxious too. I'm like, is this anxiety? What's going on? She said, you're grieving. Monica, you're grieving. You need to let yourself grieve. So being as far out, I'm 10 years out from D-Day, being as far out as I am right now from learning about the affair as my first D-Day, there were multiple, I kind of have a better sense of what happened in me during that time. And I want to share that with you. So I think sometimes knowledge is power. And when we know what's going on, it doesn't scare us as much. We get a better understanding of who we are and what's going on in our minds and our hearts. So we'll start with, early on after we find out about the affair. Here's everything going on, because I want to assure you, you feel like you're going crazy, but you have a reason to feel kind of nuts right now. You're not crazy. That's not what I'm saying. But here's what's happening with this grief. Here's your loss. That guy you married is not really the guy you married anymore. You don't even know who he is anymore. You've lost that guy. That guy's gone. You look at him and you feel this combination of disgust, of sadness, of yearning, even anger. Gosh, even pity. And I pitied my husband sometimes. I could see what a hot mess he was. You've got all these feelings wrapped up in this guy who just betrayed you. He's not the guy you married. Then you look at the marriage, and you don't even know what that looks like right now. That's a whole other ball of wax. It's not the marriage you thought you had, apparently. It's not the marriage that you want. So what the heck is it? And when you're early on, it's so hard to envision the marriage you want to have. All you can do is want to turn back the clock to what it was. And many of us assume our marriage was fantastic before the affair. I mean, it's crazy how many of us were like, oh, I don't know why this happened. Our marriage was fantastic. Why would he do something like this? Only to pull that curtain back and go, that's what happened to me. I could not get over why he would do this, because I thought we were best friends. I thought we had the perfect marriage. I thought everything was fine. We never fought. We never fought. But when you pull that curtain back, oh my gosh, there was a ton of stuff back there. So I think we're under this illusion that our marriage is all that in a bag of chips, but it really wasn't. So we're grieving this idea of a marriage we thought we had, and we can't even begin to envision what a better marriage would look like. We're still stuck in, I want the marriage I had, and I want the husband I had, when in reality, we don't. We really don't. We want something new, but we're not there yet. So don't recognize our husband anymore. So we're grieving that loss. We're grieving the loss of the marriage we thought we had. And then we look in the mirror and we don't even recognize ourselves. Who are we? We start having these disgusting emotions towards ourselves. Like we don't like ourselves very much. We don't like what we see. We feel unlovable because we've been rejected. We feel shame. We feel stupid and naive. We should have known. I mean, all these things we see when we look in the mirror. We're not even the person we thought we were. We're now this random stranger that we don't know. So look at what we've lost. A husband, a marriage, and ourselves. Like that. Gone. Completely and utterly gone. This is what we're grieving. This is what's breaking our heart right now. No wonder we're a puddle on the floor. No wonder we can't get out of bed in the morning. So no, we're not crazy. There's nothing wrong with us. We are doing what any normal human being will do in the case of this type of loss. But wait, we have another layer. If we're choosing to stay in the marriage, pile on top of all the grief, the fact that we're then putting the energy we have left over after we're grieving into healing a marriage. And along with that comes working on ourselves. So we've got grief happening here, and then right here we have working on the marriage, and here we have working on self. No wonder we're exhausted. No wonder this is so hard. You're not crazy. I was not crazy. I was doing the best I could do. So I'm going to give you, I hate to say tip, but I'm going to give you a tip on how to get through all of this. First and foremost, lean into what you're feeling. And it sucks. Believe me, it sucks. Especially the depression phase. Sucks. Okay, it just sucks. So, but lean into it, and here's why. I believe that every challenge we have in life, every opportunity to grieve, every opportunity to be heard, everything we've had to fight for has made us stronger. This process we're going through, the grief we experience after the affair, we have no choice but to come out on the other side stronger. I promise you, you will be a better version of you on the other side of this. I promise. So, lean into how you feel. Let yourself feel what you feel. Second, you draw a really strong boundary around those feelings. Because you know what? Your feelings belong in your boundary. No other person has the right ever to tell us when it's time to stop grieving, how long it should take us to be okay, what we should be feeling, and when we should be feeling it. No, not even our husband. If he wants to know when we're going to get over it, okay, I can't say that on this video, what I think you should say to him. You keep that boundary firm. Don't let other people guilt you into feeling like something's wrong with you because you're still sad, or you're still angry, or you're having a really hard time right now and it's been 2 years. Whatever. It's been 10 years for me. I have my moments, and nobody is going to take that away from me. You keep your emotions in your boundary, and you dare anybody to come in. So that's my pep talk for you today. Strong emotional boundaries. They belong to you and you only. So if your husband tries to trample all up in there, you have a family member trying to trample all up in there, no. They do not get to speak to that. Okay? Now, yes, you are responsible for your behavior. So if you're in an anger phase right now, you need to keep that in check in how you treat other people. Of course, you need to be held accountable for your behavior towards others. But when it comes to how you feel, that's all yours. Do not let anybody else take that away. Now, I will go a step further and say that's the same for your husband. What he feels inside his boundaries is for him, not for us. We don't have a right to go all up in their boundary and tell them how they need to be working on themselves or how they need to be feeling about things. No. So it goes both ways. Okay, I'm not just saying this is just for us. Everybody deserves healthy boundaries around their emotions. Don't let people put a timetable on your healing. Please don't do that. Give yourself ample space and time to feel like you again, and it will come. I promise you. So those are the two things. Lean in, set healthy boundaries. Let yourself feel what you need to feel. And you will get through this. Again, I promise you, I promise on the other side of this, you are going to be happier and healthier for it. Okay? You will be stronger and you will be able to handle anything. But you got to let the process work its magic, okay? I have a great Facebook group I'd love for you to join. It's just for wives. It's private. The link is below. I've got some great free resources as well. I hope you check them out. And if you're really struggling with your emotions right now, especially check out the video I have. It's the first link. I've got some really good stuff in there. Some great tips on there about managing things and how to get through this grief. It's so debilitating. Check that out. I also have a free guide as well, but definitely check out the video. If this particular video I've created speaks to you, that will definitely speak to you, okay? And good luck with all of this. Remember, strong boundaries, okay? Protect yourself and give yourself plenty of time to heal.